Hello, book lovers. Welcome back to another exciting episode of KSB's Book Review. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. My name is KSB. I review exciting books. So, subscribe, drop a like on the video, turn on your notifications so you can get my new updates, and let's enjoy this video together. So, in today's episode, the book I'll be reviewing with you is Held, To Be Comforted and to Be Held, written by Leslie Haskin. Leslie Haskin is an author and a writer, a conference speaker that talks about her journey through the post-traumatic disorder that she went through from the 9/11, from 9/11. Yes, the building where the World Trade Center was destroyed. So it talks about. So she's an author that writes books based on her journey, and this book is actually one of those books. Held. So the book Held is about Leslie Haskin, her journey, having to go from working in the World Trade Center and being there while it was being destroyed, the post-traumatic disorder she had to go through, the trauma, her loss of faith in God, because she had very strong faith in God, but like that experience made her to lose faith, lose belief in God, had made her focus less on the will of God, and made her to focus on her own personal requests and her own personal desires. This book is a lot. It's not a sad book, but the emotions are very intense. Gives you a vivid picture of what happened that day, the way the building collapsed, and it's a first person point of view, because she's the one that writes it. When they say, if you're reading a book, they say she said this, but like instead of saying she said, the book says I said, because she's the one writing about her story, telling us how she was standing and looking at the window. For example, I'll read a paragraph in the book for you. I stood there in front of that window, frozen in time as the world collapsed around me. I stood there staring at a few minutes what was a gorgeous view of the city, now forever darkened by falling body parts, furniture, paper, and debris banging against the sides of the building. I felt a warm stream of water run down the inside of my leg. This that paragraph talks a lot. That's the genesis of the destruction of the World Trade Center. Just a regular day, getting to the office 8 p.m., 8 a.m., drinking your coffee, eating donuts for breakfast at the office cafeteria and going to your daily work, talking to your assistant, and then you notice that the ceiling is beginning to drop and the ground is beginning to collapse little by little, and you have to run. Many people didn't get the opportunity to survive, but she was one of the people that were lucky enough to survive. But the effects of the aftermath, the trauma that it was caused, she had a disorder called the post-traumatic disorder, and she lost faith in God. She was Even when she was praying, she was not praying for God to take control. She was praying based on her own personal fears, and it felt like her prayers were not being answered, and it made her lose faith, and it made her lose interest in the things of God. But how she was able to get motivation, how God was able to reveal to her different things. This book is amazing. It's not a sad book, but the emotions are very intense. It keeps your hair standing. It's a very engaging book, very exciting book. Your emotions get to relate with somebody like this, because sometimes you've heard about the 9/11, but somehow I've never really gotten an experience. But this book, it gave me like a bit of an experience, based on the experience of a survivor. That's just what this book is about. The standout parts in this book, they're talking about the faith, this test of faith, having to go through post-traumatic disorder and having to test your faith with God. Oh, you're unsure. What if God really loves me? Why does God allow bad things to happen to to children of God? Those kind of questions, they just came up from nowhere because of how she was feeling. The post-traumatic disorder, how she was not able to relate with anybody. She became isolated. She became alone. She started living in darkness because she was afraid of going out, having to build something and being scared. And then there were also some another aspect of the book was the war disasters that were happening, the tsunamis, the terrorist attacks. It was the terrorist attack that caused the destruction of the World Trade Center, and all those pieces that led to the massive puzzle of 9/11. Those are some of the standout parts in this book, and this book was a very engaging, very exciting book. My ratings for this book is a must read because of the intense emotions that the book, the thrills. It's like watching a movie because the way the book describes some particular events that happen is so, it just creates a picture in your head and it just makes you see into the book. Like, especially for the kind of person I am, very introspective. I think a lot, so reading this book, you get to see a picture of the book, gives you a vivid picture of what the book is talking about. It's like watching a movie. This book is very exciting, this book is very engaging, and I'm going to be giving it a must read. If you are in the library or going book shopping, please look out for Held. This book is a very exciting book. It's a very engaging book. You love it. It's thrilling. It's engaging. It's exciting. Very intense emotions, yes, but it's very exciting. You get to learn a lot about survival skills and all that. Yeah, this book is very exciting. Don't forget about the reading challenge. The reading challenge is still on. The holidays are still on. I'm going to be reading a lot of books this holidays before the term resumes and I have to go back to school. But yeah, the reading challenge is still on. So make sure you're on the reading challenge and make sure you also have a friend or a group of friends that you're on the reading challenge with. So yes, that's all for the review of Held. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and always remember that readers are leaders who are way ahead of others. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.